Good afternoon, everybody, good and happy Monday. As everybody knows, whoever follows me, they know already that I love Mondays and weekdays because that's when you make the money. This video is in response to a lot of messages, private messages that I've been getting from a post that I placed on my Instagram account, the Millionaire Enlisted, and Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter as well. And it's a recap of my life. And my intention with that post was to basically show everybody that I'm a regular guy, that I have failed sometimes miserably throughout my life, that I have fears and I have the things that everybody has in their lives, okay? Complexities that I struggled with and that I overcame in order for me to be where I am right now, okay? So I'm just gonna recap a little bit in regards to the post. So yes, I'm 39 years old. I migrated from Colombia with my family. We arrived in New Jersey. Thanks to my dad, he came here 3 years prior to our arrival. He brought us here. Yes, I'm going to confirm we got here illegally. So please, regardless of what opinion you have in regards to illegal immigration, just keep it to yourself for now. Don't criticize that part. We came here just as a pure survival and just to better ourselves, okay? And that's what my parents wanted for us, and we're making it. All right. So moving on, I graduated in 99. My family, my parents, their idea was for us to go to college, educate ourselves, and that was basically the basic idea of how you would be successful in life. You go to college, you graduate, you pick up a career that is gonna make you money, and that's gonna be your livelihood from then on. So I graduated from high school. I started right away. I think I took a week of break. I went to university, and I started my first career was electronic engineering. There was a lot of people that I knew that were picking up that career, and they were making, for what I thought back then, was pretty good money. I mean, they were driving nice cars, or nicer car than what I was able to afford. But anyway, I did it mostly because I wanted to make my parents proud, and I wanted to be an example for my family, right? I can't even remember how long I lasted in that career or in college back then. It could have been a couple of months. It could have been a year. I can't remember. Anyway, I dropped out of college. I started working, and then in 2002, I after being broke for so many years, I joined the Marine Corps in 2002. I started making what I thought it was good money, and it was a secure job, right? I was proud of what I was doing. I was setting an example for my family, my friends, my brother, my sisters. So so I joined the Marine Corps 2002, and I was to for me it was good money, right? Not only that, but I didn't have any what is it called? I didn't have any responsibilities. I didn't have a family to support. I didn't have any kids. So I started partying like it was crazy, all right? Because I was never able to afford it. Now I'm able to afford it. I'm traveling overseas. I'm going around the world, and so I was partying, and that's basically what everybody does in the Marine Corps. At that stage, right? You drink every day, you party, you spend money on crazy things, and that's what I was doing. I did it from 2002 to 2009. In 2000, oh, in regards to my career as a Marine until 2000, basically until 2009, I was the average Marine, right? I think I was even below average. The only thing that I was good at, for me, it was the physical part, right? The PFT, the CFT. For those of you who are civilians and don't know about that, is the physical the physical fitness test that we do every year. Physically, I was always fit, and I was able to basically in the Marine Corps just cruise and and get promoted and collect a check every 2 weeks. Okay, so I was the average Marine, let's call it like that. I never went the extra mile on anything. So that was me. Okay, I had no guidance. I never asked for guidance. I never asked questions. I never asked anybody to be my mentor. I never looked for a mentor. I always thought that I could do it on my own. Not only that, but that was something that I always struggled with. It was asking for favors, okay, or asking for advice. Until recently, when I started asking for advice and I started educating myself. Anyway, moving forward, I just want to know. So that's my first failure. Okay, actually, one of my first failures. One is I wanted to go to college and impress my parents. I felt miserably on that. Then I started looking. I started working. I started working. As a matter of fact, I'm working since I was 12 years old. I just don't want to expand this too much to help my family. And I work at factories. I work bagging for supermarkets before I joined the Marine Corps. I mean, you name it. Well, anyway, in the Marine Corps, like I said, I was the average guy. You know, I just do my job, show up on time, never got in trouble. But I never went the extra mile either. Okay, the only thing that I was actually successful at was the PFT and the CFT, and that's pretty much it. I don't recommend that to anybody now. So moving on, 2008, I bought a house for my parents, and I lost that house in the market when the market busted, and I lost that house. I had to literally kick out my parents out of their house because I couldn't afford it anymore. So that's another failure right there, right? I didn't educate myself, so I thought it was an easy, buy a house, 2 years later you refinance it and you make some money and buy some more. I always liked real estate. I just didn't know anything about it. And again, I never asked questions. I never asked for help. I never educated myself. I thought it was like that easy. It's like, well, let me buy a house, refinance it, and that. So lost the house in 2011. In 2011 also I got married. 2013 I had my son. Once I got married and I had my son, my perspective on things changed a little bit, and I became more competitive. So I needed to now I wanted to set an example for my son, and it's a different type of example, right? So I kind of like went out a little bit extra on the extra mile. My wife at that time, she was very supportive, and she always pushed me to be a little more, and she was always very proud of me being a Marine, right? She was more a Marine than me. So moving forward, I went through very highs and lows in the Marine Corps. Again, just to make the long story short, in 2014, 2015, my brother, in one of my lows, my brother contacted me. We were talking about something. I can't remember what it was. And he brought this idea to me about real estate investing, and I was like, okay, I don't even know what that is. You know, I mean, I thought investing was always buying a house and that's your investment, and that's not true. But anyway, he told me, he's like, hey man, I think you should read this book. And I was like, man, reading is like, I'm not a reader. I can't read. If I read one page, I'll read it 20 times because I don't understand what they're saying. So he told me, hey, read Rich Dad Poor Dad. And I was like, okay, I think I had that book somewhere, but I never read it. Well, I downloaded this app, right? The Audible, and I downloaded the book. It's free, 30 days. I mean, the first book is for free. So I downloaded it and I started listening. That book changed my life, my perspective, my way of thinking. And not only that, but the way that the book is read and written, it makes you think that you're capable of doing all these things that the book is describing, right? I mean, it described it in such a simple way that I saw myself doing everything that book said, right? And I wanted to become the rich guy on that book. So not only that book gave me so many examples, but it opened my brain and my desire to learn, and it opened my horizons, right? So I became the person that wanted to read. I was so curious about tapping into that world of that 1%. So I started asking so many questions, and my questions, I didn't have the network to ask questions to somebody, right? So I didn't have that mentor, that rich guy that I could ask questions to. So I started buying books, and I started subscribing to podcasts, and I started subscribing to different websites, and going to seminars, and paying money here and there. In my eagerness and my curiosity to do more and gain some money, because now I felt with a few books that I bought at the beginning, I felt that I was an expert. So I got in different ventures, right? Because I wanted to save money, I wanted to make money. So I got in different ventures. In some ventures, and I mentioned it on the post. Here's the post that I created. In some ventures, I lost money. Other ventures, my money got stolen, right? Because I never did the homework. I thought it was so easy. It's like, okay, well, let me get in this business. They're promising so many returns, and those returns, hopefully, that will make me so much money that by then I'll know more about real estate investing, and I'll be able to invest it in real estate. Well, again, that's another failure right there. I felt miserably because I lost my retirement account twice. All right, I lost my life savings. I can't even count anymore. I lost people's money. I lost my brother's money once, and of course I had to pay it back, and I paid it back. I'm not gonna steal anybody's money. But that's just to recap, and just so you know, it's like I failed most of my life, and I've never felt like I was a failure. All right. I knew deep inside of me that I had to keep digging and digging and digging, and if where I was digging wasn't it, I had to move on and look at different places where I could dig until I was able to find the gold that I was looking for. So moving forward, okay, so my son was born, my perspective kind of changed. Then I bumped into this guy, Grant Cardone. Oh my God, his philosophy on life changed. I mean, it didn't change my perspective anymore because I had that perspective, but it gave me a boost of energy. Okay, so I read this book called the 10x Rule. You have to read the book. I'm not gonna talk about the book, but it's just, I mean, the energy that his teachings and his example, the example that this guy gives you, it just creates energy. Okay, so I listened to the audiobook, and I listened to that book, I don't know, probably 1,000 times already. And it motivated me at a level that I've never been motivated to. Okay, once I listened to that book, I started performing at a level, and he calls it massive action. Okay, I just put massive action into everything and every aspect of my life. Okay, in my Marine Corps career, I started performing at levels that I've never performed at. So much so that people started criticizing me. And in the book, it warns you about that. It's like once you start acting and performing at those levels, people are gonna criticize you first, and then they're going to admire you. Once you start being successful. So in my Marine Corps career, I started performing at levels that I never performed before. Right now, I'm not going the extra mile. I'm going 100 miles, extra, and at 100 miles an hour, people are trying to catch up to me. And I loved it. I loved that attention. I started getting awards. I started being recognized by people that I admire in my field, and that felt good. Okay, so again, I started bringing it up so many notches. It's like not one notch, not no. It's like 100 notches. Like, and that energy energized me, right? And that attention that I was getting energized me. Anyway, moving forward, I applied the concept of the 10x to how I treated my family, how I treated my personal self, how I treated everything, even going to the gym. I applied everything to that, right? Waking up early, working long hours, putting so much effort on everything, volunteering for everything, saying yes to everything, and then figuring out later. Moving forward, 2018, I fell into the greatest depression of my life. And a lot of those actions and feelings and all that stuff kind of affected my family, my marriage. 2019, my wife asked me she told me that she wanted to get a divorce. We filed for divorce. We divorced. It was a slap in the face. Again, another failure right there, right? Not only that, but she didn't trust me financially. She didn't trust me on anything. She didn't trust my idea, and I don't blame her for it. But again, in the summer of this year, 2019, my brother came to me, and we started talking about real estate again, and we partnered up, right? I wish we would have done that sooner, but I think it was the right time as well, because I hit rock bottom, right? I had nothing to lose. So I wanted to say I was willing to risk everything, but there was nothing to risk anymore because I had nothing, right? I lost my family. I had only just a little bit of savings, and I was like, well, if I risk what I have, I'm not losing anything, right? It's not gonna break me or make me, because I'm already broke. Financially, my ego was in the lowest, right? And my self-esteem was at the lowest. But I was like, okay, let's do it, man. It's like, I have a little bit of time. Let me just go ahead and do what we plan on doing. So I executed, and I brought my 10x spirit with me, to find the largest deal that we've been able to close on. And that's basically how everything started and everything exploded, with my brother. Okay, now our goals are humongous. Okay, and the failures now that I look back, all these failures collectively, was what made me able to be strong enough to do what I'm doing right now. Okay, and to able to tell you this story comfortably, right? Because I wanna show everybody that if I went through that, if all my life was a struggle, and I wasn't the superstar, and I was never the A student, and I was never the super Marine. Everybody can do it. Okay, all you need to do is collect yourself and find that confidence to be able to do whatever you want. It doesn't have to be real estate. It doesn't have to be in finances. It doesn't have to be investing. Okay, but it's just able to do whatever is it that you're looking for in your life. Okay, find your why. Okay, fall in love with that vision that you have, and no matter how many times you fail, you're gonna get up, because you know that you're gonna be able to accomplish your vision. Okay, whether you go through depression, whether you go through divorce, whether you lose everything. Okay, always go for it. Don't lose that vision. Okay, fall in love with that vision, because falling in love with that vision is what's gonna make you strong enough to get up and keep looking for that is right here in your heart. Okay, so find your why. That's one of the things. Educate yourself. Okay, find your why and then start educating yourself as how you're going to accomplish what you're going to accomplish. So find your why, and then the how is going to start building up. For some reason, I don't know how it works, but everything's gonna start falling in place, and different events are gonna start materializing to where you're gonna be able to walk, each block and each block and each block until you reach that vision and you're almost able to touch it. And that's where I am right now. Okay, so just to give you the closing. Okay, my brother and I are working on multi-million-dollar deals right now, that thanks to the confidence that now we have, we're gonna be able to accomplish those. Okay, 2020 goals are now, we're looking at a $50 million on a real estate acquisition. I never thought that possible. I thought I was gonna be, doing the small deals here and there, finding cash flow here and there, and hopefully, snowballing that. But again, I think that, and I will blame these to all my failures. I think that all those failures, and because I paid a big price early in my life, that I'm able to move on and be confident enough to move to the big deals that we're doing right now. Okay, and those failures are making us wiser and smarter in a lot of things that we're doing, and become very, very creative. Okay, so again, closing on this, if I'm making it, if my brother and I are making it, and we come from nothing. Okay, seriously nothing. We got here to the United States, in the apartment that we got into, had rats and mice everywhere. We used to play with those mice, and feed them. To be honest, and my dad got deported 2 times, and we were illegal in this country. And please don't criticize that part of my life, and let's not get political on this. It's just, take me as an example, that if I came from nothing, right, and I'm making it, so can you. Okay, it just takes massive action, all right, and it takes courage to do whatever is it that you want to do. So build up that courage. Okay, educate yourself. And I'm not talking about go to college and get a degree and all that stuff, because I've changed careers 6 times and I still don't have a degree. But I feel that I'm educated now. Okay, in the field that is gonna pay off for me and the type of lifestyle that I want. Okay, so I hope that my message motivates you to get up and start doing something, and start asking questions and finding those questions, because you may have a lot of questions in your head, but if you don't look for the answer, well, nothing's gonna happen. All right, so hopefully my message encouraged you to get up and move and accomplish all those goals that you have. Okay, on closing, please leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna start putting a lot of content now that I have the courage to, because I never felt comfortable doing any of the stuff that I'm doing right now. But now that I have the courage to share my story, and to share what we've accomplished and the processes that we're using to accomplish everything that we're accomplishing, please subscribe to my channel. Follow me on LinkedIn, the Millionaire Enlisted, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. All right, so leave me a comment, ask any questions, whatever questions that you have, I'll be happy to answer it. And peace out. Please leave a comment, follow me.